Today's video is brought to you by 8 Hours, a new online platform creating video essays on film and television. Head over to 8hours.com to browse over 3,000 video essays on topics like screenwriting, filmmaking, and genre. We all want to get ahead in life. The question is, how do you climb the social ladder when you're covered head to toe in shit? Unfortunately, in the rule of Queen Anne, they didn't have self-help gurus like Dale Carnegie to guide you up the steps. Instead, these characters had to improvise. To get a better standing in life, they used their highly tuned instincts, stemming from thousands of years of natural selection. It's complicated. In this video, we'll show you how success was achieved in these days of old, which you can apply to your own life, if you like. Step 1. Arousing the other person an eager want.
You want something. To fuck me.
When you have power, it's easy to make people do what you want.
Enough!
Simply threaten them with flagellation. You know, a flogging, a thrashing, a
It means he will have you whipped.
However, such threats only achieve so much, and only apply to those beneath you.
Do you want to get punched?
If you want to get into the most powerful person in the land's good graces, you need to understand their desires. It was not a known fact during Queen Anne's reign, but several historians have pointed out since, and I quote, or I'm paraphrasing, Anne was a very naughty girl. So, what does Queen Anne eagerly want that Abigail needs to arouse?
I like it when she puts her tongue inside me.
Quite often, sex is the right ointment to lull the pain the world puts upon us. Momentarily at least. But Anne also has wants that don't involve her libido. In the opening scene, we get a hint at what's missing in her life.
Sarah, you must say hello to the little ones.
No. It is macabre. I love you, but that I will not do. If you love me, love has limits. It should not.
Anne wants and desires Lady Marlborough, aka Sarah. Desires her both physically and emotionally.
Find her! Find her!
But Sarah tries to string her along, keeping her at a safe distance, putting limits on how much of herself she will give.
Aim for the flagstones. The lawn might break your fall.
You do not care.
She also disregards the next crucial step. Step 2. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. People like honesty, but not too much honesty.
You look like a badger.
Sarah constantly disregards Anne's feelings.
And you are too mean and uncaring some days.
Some days I'm quite lovely, though. Let's think on them.
It has worked for her so far because Anne is the queen bee, surrounded by honey ushering drones.
A perfect analogy.
Compared to these cajoling yes men, Sarah feels her honesty is a virtue.
Badger.
But she goes too far, and is too ruthless in her approach, both with Anne
You.
and with the opposition.
Must you rub it in? A man's dignity is the one thing that holds him back from running amok.
This approach only works when there's no competition. So by overplaying her hand, Sarah leaves the opening Abigail needs.
I like it when she puts her tongue inside me.
Step 3. Become genuinely interested in other people. This pivotal scene is where Abigail makes her great advance. But to get to this point, she had to get lucky. Her own pain connects her to Anne. And from here on out, she has to play the best of a bad hand, alerting the Queen to her role in her recovery.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I think I caught a chill picking the herbs for your leg.
That was you.
Abigail.
So now it's crunch time. At first, she gets it all wrong.
I'm educated. I speak Latin, French. My family fell on hard times. I'm also her cousin.
It's all very fascinating. You shall leave regardless and tell her to come.
Her mistake here is she talks about something that, let's face it, no one really cares about. Herself.
Abigail.
Carnegie says that you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Abigail doesn't seem to do this strategically. In this instance, she is searching for anything that can keep her in the room. Bingo.
They're gorgeous.
She stumbled towards the only way into Anne's heart. No, lower. There you go. Notice in this step, it says you need to be genuinely interested in other people.
Oh, which one is he?
That one there. Shy but stubborn.
In this moment, as Anne tells her devastating life story, which the rabbits symbolise, Abigail seems genuinely affected and connects with Anne on a deep level.
I lost some 17 children. Some were born as blood, some without breath, and some were with me for a very brief time.
In this moment, they're no longer queen and servant. Their bond transcends social hierarchy.
Oh, my dear.
Step 4. Give the other person a fine rep to live up to. As humans, one of our core desires is the need to be heroic and important. But greatness must come at a price. Usually it's hard work. Yet if you're born out of a royal womb, greatness is your birthright. So there's nothing to aspire to, no struggle and reward. Not very queen-like, is it? Anne's an emotional wreck, and like a child.
Did you just look at me? Did you? Look at me! Look at me! How dare you! Close your eyes!
Abigail gets in Anne's good graces by reminding her of the lineage she needs to live up to.
You are the queen.
All depart!
The whole palace seems to operate on a similar principle, appealing to their best selves.
My father always spoke highly of you.
The dialogue is often tinged with sarcasm, though,
How sweet your wife is, Marlborough. Sweet and right.
yet the veneer of respect and civility is something they generally aspire to,
It has been an honour and privilege.
for the most part.
If you do not go, I will start kicking you and I will not stop.
Step 5. Say my name. Saying a person's name is the sweetest sound. People love hearing their name. These British officials of the highest order like to be addressed by their surnames and titles.
Yes, your ladyship.
Colonel Masham.
Lady Marlborough.
The Queen will ride on Wednesday.
It makes them feel grandiose and important.
May I speak a moment with Her Majesty's pleasure?
But hearing your first name sounds so much more intimate.
And Anne.
For most of the movie, Sarah is the only person that addresses the Queen this way.
Anne, I handed over my key.
This is the last time she ever talks to Anne. Here the door separates them now, and for good. Only after the path is clear can Abigail replace Sarah and use her first name for the first time.
It is not horrible, dear Anne.
Step 6. Give honest and sincere appreciation. We've already established that no one likes to be criticised.
Badger.
Instead, we want to be loved and appreciated.
Thank you. And thank you for the job.
But crucially, compliments must feel honest. Abigail and Anne's patois was a classic example of a relationship that starts in earnest but turns sour. In essence, it's a classic love story. You know, girl meets monarch,
Abigail.
monarch tells girl about her rabbits,
That one there.
girl gives cunnilingus to monarch, monarch has great big juicy orgasm.
Head underwater.
But see, where Abigail went wrong was when she resorted to compliments that could be regarded as pure flattery,
Your hair is so lustrous.
which is a big no-no.
I always thought of it as rather nest-like.
Not at all.
As Carnegie says, cunnilingus is from the tongue. Wait, no, that's not right, is it? Flattery is from the tongue, and appreciation is from the heart.
Stop!
The Queen was previously starved of this attention from Sarah, so when Abigail butters her up with these proclamations, she gets high off the feeling.
You're so beautiful.
But by the end, she seems aware it was all a calculated move to influence her, which makes her feel, well, a bit shit really.
You may leave.
So, let's recap. Step 1. Give people what they want. Step 2. Don't remind them of their flaws.
Badger.
Step 3. Make them feel valuable.
They're gorgeous.
Step 4. Remind them of their potential.
You are the queen,
Step 5. Remind them of their epithet.
dear Anne.
Step 6. Make them feel appreciated in earnest.
I am as hard as a rock, and it is our wedding night.
What all these have in common is that they have nothing to do with you.
Lie still.
The only way to influence someone is to appeal to everyone's natural self-interest. In order to win someone over, you must selflessly appeal to their own selfish desires for your own totally non-selfish reasons.
I thought you were on our side.
I'm on my side. Always.
I'd like to thank this video's sponsor, 8 Hours. If you head over to their site 8hours.com, you'll find a whole range of curated video essays. I feel this is something the medium really needs, as there's so much interesting work being done. So it's great to have someone highlighting what they feel is worth checking out. They group videos together to make it easier to find what you're looking for. My favourite page is this one on directors, as it allows me to find many of my filmmaking heroes and look at a host of videos on their work. Take, for example, the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock. They have a selection of videos based on his general techniques, and then film by film. It's really an invaluable resource for anyone that likes to study the cinematic art form. Once again, that's 8hours.com, and you can find the link in the description. They're on social media too, of course, so I recommend you give them a follow. So I'm pleased to announce that we've just launched a new podcast. Who's we, you say? That'd be myself and the editor-co-writer on this video, Luís Azevedo. As I said before, Luís is a freelance video essayist, but he also has his own channel, Beyond the Frame. In the podcast, we elaborate on the video you just watched a bit more, and on The Favourite in general, and then I interview Luís about his illustrious career in the video essay field thus far. It was a fun one, so if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description. As always, thanks to my patrons. If you want to support the channel, then that's the way to do it. And I'll see you down the long and winding road, which is the next video essay, but not too long, I hope. Cheerio.